I've made 2 sets, one in a print, one in a solid. You get 2 garments in this one pattern, so that's awesome. It can go a really long way and you can mix and match. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I have 2 sets to share with you. By sets, I mean that they match. This is brand new from Sinclair Patterns and it's called Byron set. I've made both sets, meaning they match, but also these 2 sets can mix and match between each other, so I think that's really fun. In the lineout, you can see there's a really nice top. It's sleeveless, it's got a V neckline on the front, and on the back you can do either a V neckline or a round neckline. This is finished with a facing, super neat, love that. Binding on the sleeveless armholes, bust darts which are golden, love those, and there's bust cup sizes here, A, B, C, D, E, F, so I think it's going to give you a really good bust fit. Love that. Top can be at the mid hip or a little bit longer, and you can finish the hem normally or with a facing, that's up to you. The shorts are really easy, simple, pull on, really nice wide casing that uses a 2-inch elastic, and it's a type of casing that is already on the pattern so that you just fold it back to the inside. It doesn't have a separate waistband, and I recently made a video showing you how to do that, how to create that for different pants, shorts or skirts. Well, there's no need to do any hack here because this is how the design is meant to be, so I love that. So much easier and less bulk. Love the technique, and as soon as I saw that it was here, that inspired me to create that episode where I showed you how to do it when patterns don't have that. On the side of the shorts, you can do a little slit, a little side slit that's really interesting to sew, and the shorts have 2 lengths. I've done the shortest length. It's still not super short, but there is one that's a little longer that's going to be above the knees. I always forget to mention the inseam pockets. Whenever I see inseam pockets in a design, I see it and then I just erase it. I just don't see the instructions. I don't see any mention of them because I just dislike inseam pockets so much. So yeah, just know that there are inseam pockets here. They will be placed below the casing and they're going to finish above the little side slit if you're doing that. So yeah, just know that they are there. The instructions are there and you can add them if you want. I just never do. Because the Byron set is brand new at Sinclair Patterns, it's got a 26-27%-ish discount till Saturday the 3rd of August. So there's quite a nice period where you can get this beautiful pattern for a lot less. I think it's awesome because you get 2 patterns in one. That is amazing. You can make them in the same fabric or as separate, so the pattern can go a long way. I think it's great value. I will leave you my affiliate link in the description box of this video. It's sort of hard to find. So I also pin it right at the top of the comment section so that it's very easy for you to find. If you do end up clicking on that link and purchasing, I do receive a commission back. That is one of the ways I make an income, creating free content for you to enjoy here on YouTube, and I really hope it's helpful because I try to bring you the most interesting parts of the pattern. I really love sharing that with you and I hope it's helpful in your sewing. So if you use my link, I'm super grateful. It doesn't cost you anything extra. The Byron set is designed for woven fabrics, and light to medium weight fabrics are going to work. There's a vast array of fabrics that you can use, anywhere from more structured fabrics, still keeping them light though, like cotton lawn, chambray. I would even use a really light denim. Of course, there's always your linen blends, linen rayon blend, linen cotton blend, and then the flowier fabrics, you have 100% rayon, which I think might be a little light for this. I know some people are successful and they're fine with it. I know my mom would love a set in 100% rayon, the plain weave, the super lightweight, but I prefer to go a little heavier with a rayon crepe. That's one of my choices. I just love that it keeps the amazing drape, but it's a little heavier, a little less sheer. So that's just my choice there. You could also use tencel twill, rayon linen blend, that type of material. So there's quite a few things you can use. I did use a linen rayon blend for my solid one and the rayon crepe for my print. You don't need much fusible interfacing. It's just a very small amount for the facing. That's all you need. And yeah, 2-inch elastic for the casing of the short. Sizing, as you know, Sinclair Patterns has height files, which is amazing. You choose that first, depending on how tall you are. This is the chart here for you to choose. And then you go into the numbers and you look at the chart where you have from 0 to 30 US up to a 63-inch hip. As I mentioned, you have cup size options, A, B, C, D, E, F. That is amazing. You measure your high bust and your full bust, and according to the difference there is your sewing cup size. And for the ease of the top, it's really comfortable. You just pull it on over your head. You don't need zippers like that. You have enough space on the neckline and throughout the body. At the bust, around 2 inches of ease. Then you go down to the hips about 5.5. And at the waist, it's not too boxy. It's not completely straight, but it doesn't go in that much either. So you have a nice comfortable waist. For the shorts, they are pull up. You're meant to choose your size for the shorts based on your full hip. You might have a totally different size short than your top. So just be aware, you can always choose different sizes. You don't have to choose the same size for the whole set. You have a casing for your waist, so you can regulate that a little tighter, a little looser. Give yourself some grace if you think you need to blend out a size at the waist. Maybe you don't have to. Same as blending in. I wouldn't blend in because you need to make sure it's going to go over your full hip. If you have more of a pear shape, you can just regulate how that fits with the elastic. Personal fitting, easy peasy. I chose a size 14 toe file for both my top and my pants. For Sinclair patterns, my measurements go all within the one size, so it makes it easier for me. For my top on my first version, I left the dart as it is. And when I'm trying it on, it depends on the bra also. I thought maybe I could lower it by 5/8 of an inch, which is a small adjustment. I can still wear it like it is, but for my second version, I did make the change and just lower that whole dart by 5/8 of an inch. For the shorts, as usual, folded in the amount that would be the casing on the paper pattern, did my flat pattern measurements, and I did have to add length to the rise. I know a lot of people think this fits amazing and you can see the waist a couple of inches underneath their belly button. I don't know, I need things to reach my natural waist. I do have a difference between my waist and my hips, and if I have an elastic there, the garment is just going to ride up to the smaller space. So I can't really wear low rise or mid rise. They do have to be at my waist. That's just personal fitting for me. So I did have to add to the front rise and the back rise. You can see on the graphic here that I had to add 1 inch to the front, 1.25 inch to the back. So on the sides, I kept the inch. I just made the difference in the center back there, just adding a little bit more. Remember, when you do different adjustments to the front and the back, the sides need to line up and have the same length. So that was super, super easy. I chose the shortest length for the top and for the short. Super easy fitting. I didn't make a test garment, nothing like that. I went straight to my print crepe and was very, very happy with the results. I'm very, very, very satisfied with the fit for both garments. Now for sewing, I'm going to show you how to sew the top, how to sew the shorts. General construction, focusing on the neckline. On the shorts, I'm focusing on the little side slits because that's what's different and the most important thing that I think you would want to see. The side slits, they're optional. If you don't want them, just sew the side seams all the way down and it would be even easier. So let's see. These are the pieces for the bride's top. They're both cut on the fold. This is the back, this is the front. The front always has a V neckline, and that is the facing with a V shape that goes with it. On the back, you can choose between a round neckline or a V as well. I'm doing a round one with this one. My facings are already interfaced right there. And then we have binding for the armholes. This is the shorter version. If you're doing a longer version, you can also do facings here for the hem. I'm just doing a regular hem because this is the short version. The front has cup size options, A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm doing the CD, so I have a bust dart there. The shape and the size of the bust dart will differ with the cup size options. And that's actually the first step that we do. But before that, as always, I want to stay stitch the neckline. That is the first step before anything else with any pattern. So we'll just get that done. I'm stay stitching the front neckline. It's a V, so I'm going from the shoulder into the center and then flipping the fabric and going from the shoulder into the center. So it's symmetrical. And I'll do the same with the back. I always start sewing my darts from the tip of the dart to the widest part. Find it easier to regulate where the needle goes into the fabric and then you don't get a pucker there. Always remember, don't back stitch there, just start sewing and then knot it by hand at the end. Before sewing the shoulder seams, what I did was serge all the edges so I can press all the seams open, and now I'm going to sew these shoulder seams. The seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch. Then when I do these main ones, I'm going to repeat the same for the facings. Those are a little smaller, same seam allowance. Now it's super easy, and you've seen me do this before. The shoulder seams are sewn, so we can extend this. Our shoulder seams are sewn from the facing, and now we just line it up. Just because it's a little easier, I'm going to hand baste this in place, make sure it's super neat, and then we're going to sew it around. 5/8 seam allowance, nip into there, then we understitch, flip it to the inside. Now the edge of the facing, in the tutorial it mentions folding it in by 1/4 inch, like that. I'm going to opt to just serge the edge and top stitch it down, just a little less bulky for this type of fabric. So that is my option. It'll still look the same from the outside. Seam allowance is quite big, so I'm just trimming it in half. As always, let's snip into that V right there. And then on the back area that's curved, I'm going to do some snips. Extend the facing, push the seam allowance towards the facing right there, and now we sew on the edge. Seam allowance tucked in under the interfaced face. Here is the facing on the inside, nicely pressed. I've hand basted it all the way around, so it's really nice and neat. I'm just going to sew on the inner edge of the serged area as a guide. All the way around, just hold it in place. After having the neckline done, you've basically finished what's going to take the longest with this one. I'm going to finish the side seams now, press them open, then I'm going to bind the armholes and then the hem, and that's it. It's a pretty simple make. There are only 2 pattern pieces, super easy. This is the front, this is the back. I've got the shorter inseam, there's a longer inseam. You see that there's no separate waistband, and that's because it's got an integrated casing on the top. So the rise will look longer, and that's because there's an amount already calculated to be folded in here. Now what I've done before putting this on the table is do some memory creases for the hem. So for the hem, you're supposed to fold up by 1/4 inch, that's what you see there, and then by 2 inches. There's a little mark on the pattern as well here on the sides that is going to help you do that. So I've done that for all the bottoms. For the top, I've done the same. I've folded in by 3/8 at the top, and then again by 2 3/8. There's also a line marked on the pattern, so it's easy to mark that line with a chalk or something and then fold it. So I have already pressed these. The memory creases are there ready for later, and it's going to make the process so much easier. Now on the side, you can sew the side like normal, or there's an option to do a little slit here that's a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is put the front and the back legs together. I'm putting the back leg on the table right sides up, and then putting the front leg on top so that they're right sides together at the side seams. There are some marks on the side seams to do this little slit. I'm going to line them up really carefully on the side, and then I'll show you what's next. Here is one of the legs done. I'm going to show you how we can achieve this little slit that we have on the side. It's optional. You can sew the side seam all the way down if you want, but if you do want this little effect, there is a little shape that you need to cut out from the bottom part. You can see that the side seam is open and pressed. That's why I serged all the edges first all the way down to the bottom. It makes it easier in the end. And then this hem is folded in once by 1/4 inch, and then this larger fold there, that was all pre-creased. Here we have the bottom of the side seam. This is the hem allowance here with the memory creases, and you can see that we have this little shape. So I have aligned the side seams really accurately. I've got a pin there, I've got a pin there. And what we need to do now is cut this out. So having them right on top of each other, I'm going to cut along this line right here. This line is 5/8 of an inch, which is a seam allowance. And then this one is slanted out like this to that dot. That's where the crease for the hem is. And then you go back out and then out like that. This is how it's going to look. It looks super funny, but it will make sense. What we need to sew is this little bit right there at 5/8 seam allowance right there, and then the whole side seam here up to the top. Now, if you're doing inseam pockets, you would have done the inseam pockets first. The inseam pockets go in this area. There's an area here where you interface this section so it stabilizes the pockets. So do that first and then do the little slit if you want. I'm not doing the pockets, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew the side seam from up the top of the waist area down to this little bit there, and then this tiny section.
Seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch.
I'm gonna head over to the iron and press this little bit open like this section and this as well, and then we're gonna sort out this. Okay, there we have it all neat. This one's pressed open and this tiny one is pressed open, and also that 1/4 inch folded back like it was originally. So now we have this. What we need to do is take these right sides together. I'm gonna put a pin right there and on the other side as well. So what you want is the bottom of the hem here, folded right sides together, and then these are going to meet up right here as well, all the raw edges. So now we have to sew this little shape. Now from here I'm going to start at a 1/4 inch, but once I get to this point here, I want to be at that seam, so it's going to get smaller as I get to this point of the triangle, and then pivot and then go back down to a 1/4 inch down there, and then we can flip it to the other side and we're going to have a really nice slit. I'm aiming to go up to there, right where that seam is, leaving a tiny bit of fabric in there. Whenever you're trying to sew something little like this, just take it slowly. There's no need to rush this. I'm going to be hand cranking a bit as I get to the seam. Okay, there you can see what I've done. Now where the top of this little triangle is, I'm going to do a little snip just to get closer to that seam right there, just a tiny little snip. And now let's flip this. So we'll take this little corner over here, take this little corner over there, and then we get this really neat. If we hadn't have snipped, then this would be pulling. And then on this side, it looks like this. We already had that fold there that's going to come over and cover it, and that's how we're going to get a really neat hem. I'm just going to pin the hem all the way around, hand baste it, just like you saw me do on the other leg. And then I can top stitch the hem, and that is the little slit done. Super easy. I think it's a really nice detail. I've given this a nice little press, so that's done. And now we still have the inseams to do because they were loose. So you have to unfold all your memory creases from that hem and just line it up here. So your inseam, press it open, and then you can press your hem allowance up again. I'm going to hand baste it before I top stitch. This is how the little slit looks like on the side. I think it's super cute. So that is what we want to achieve. I have already hand basted this so I can top stitch that hem down at the very end. And then after you have both legs done independently, you put one inside the other and then sew the crotch at the end. And then by that point, you will already have your casing pressed, which is super easy. You top stitch, leave a gap to put the elastic through. So after doing the little slit, all the rest of the construction is pretty simple. Here we have two legs. One is wrong sides out. You can see the seam right there. One is right sides out. That's what you have to do. So we get the one that's right sides out and put it inside this other leg right here. When we do that, we end up with the crotch right sides together. Just shake it a bit to get the leg to go down. Now we're going to end up with a U type of seam right here. This is the front crotch. We're going to match up the inseams and we're going to sew the seam at 5/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to serge this together, and as I do that, I'm going to trim down to 3/8. Usually if you leave the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on such a curved seam, it starts pulling at the crotch and it doesn't give you the proper fit either. So it's always good to trim down to 3/8. These are a pair of bottoms that are made in a lightish weight Rayon crepe, and this is folded to the inside, so it lets you comfortably insert a 2-inch elastic inside. There's also a first fold here about 3/8. You can do the first fold at 1/4 inch, and that gives you a really clean finish right there. This is non-raw elastic. I didn't feel the need to top stitch it, but you could if you had an elastic that you felt was going to fold or bend or twist. This is pretty sturdy in here. I don't need to do anything else. And it's so easy, so easy. Once you put the legs together, sew the crotch,
then you just fold it in, and it's such an easy way to finish a pair of bottoms, skirt or pant. Leave a little gap open, insert the elastic, you're done.
This is my first set. Here is the top, here are the shorts. Look at this amazing fabric. It's got polka dots, but they're very random and it's just such a lovely print. Rayon crepe, maybe you can see the texture on the wrong side. It's got that crepe type of weave. It's just rayon and it makes it a little heavier and less sheer, but still amazingly drapey. It's just the nicest top. There's my small hem allowance there. I usually make smaller hem allowances than patterns tell you to do. That's just my personal preference. And as I mentioned, I do have a bust dart there that's hard to see. That's why I wasn't too bothered that I thought the bust dart was a little high for me, 5/8. You can barely tell. And it also depends on my bra because I think not every single bra has the same support. At least the most comfortable ones that I like to wear don't hold up as well as the most uncomfortable bras that I would only wear for a couple of hours. So yeah, that is the facing finish on the inside right there, top stitched down. I opted to just serge the edge of the facing. In the instructions it said to fold in by 1/4 inch. I rarely do that. I just kept it simple, and it's the same on the V area there. Binding, self-made with the same fabric over here for the armholes. I always enjoy that. Remember that I have a very comprehensive video about binding. I always link to my binding video that is amazing. It shows you all the details. How do I join the ends? On the pattern, it has you bind and then sew the side seams, which in my opinion gives you more bulk here in this end. So I never do that. I just sew the side seams and then do the binding. It's always personal preference. There is a slit on the side. So beautiful. It looks really nice. Gives the shorts something extra. I wouldn't sew them without that because I find it really, really pretty. So totally worth adding this detail. So I'm going to show you these together and of course paired separately with other things because it can go a long way. So I've had a lot of fun styling it and I'm going to really enjoy it. It feels amazing on.
This is my first Byron set from Sinclair Patterns. I used a matching type of fabric. This is a rayon crepe. It's not too light, not too heavy. I would say medium weight. It's got a really interesting polka dot situation, but a little bit different. You'll see it up closer. I chose to sew the shortest top and the shortest shorts here. There is a longer top and a longer short as well. And I really like this. I like the proportions here, very comfortable. The elasticized waistband is everything. This is the type that's an extension to the rise and you just fold it under and make a casing, put an elastic, very easy, very comfortable. Love that. What I like about the shorts is the little slit detail there. It is optional. You can leave it out if you want. I think the fit is spectacular. And the top here is hitting my mid hip. I really like it. You'll see it up closer next. It's got a lovely V neckline that's finished with a facing. That facing is all top stitched, it's all very neat. And sleeveless armholes have really nice cover and those are finished with self-made binding from the same fabric. And I think the fit is really good. The cover of the V neckline is also very good, not showing anything, and you can barely see the bust dart there because of my print, but it gives amazing shaping. There's cup sizes, so I think that's really good. You're gonna get a really good fit and I'm super happy with this fresh little set. I can wear them as separate, so you'll see them paired differently now with separate bottoms, separate tops. Here is my Byron top from the set paired with a Florence skirt, also from Sinclair Patterns. I think because my top is black and white, I can use any color and I've chosen this beautiful burgundy and tencel twill. This is a skirt I made last year and I really love it. It's really pretty. You can also make it in neat fabric. And tucking in the Byron top works really well with this style that is more of a fit and flare there. So I'm glad this top is going to fit right into my wardrobe here as a separate. Love that you can have two patterns in one here. Same color on the bottom, but this time my dune pants. These are made recently, also from Sinclair Patterns. Lovely burgundy color as well. I kept the same shoes. And because this top is not too long, I think I can wear it tucked out over a style of pant like this. If I'd made the longer version available, I wouldn't tuck it in. I'd have to do something or just wear something more slim fitting on the bottom. But this is my favorite length for the top. That's why I only sewed the shorter version and not the long one. And I really like how it looks here with the dune pants. Now I'm keeping the shorts and I brought out my Chloe top from Sinclair Patterns. This is a neat top with a really interesting cow neckline that comes from the shoulder. I've got my burgundy shoes still. I think those look really nice as well with a little bag. And this is another casual outfit. I'm the type that will wear small block heels with shorts. I've been doing that since I was a teenager and I really like how that looks. I wouldn't wear full-on heels, but I think this type of small heel is okay. I've got a side tuck here. I love that little slit on the side. And this is another outfit that would be super easy for me to just throw on one day when I want to look like I made a little bit of an effort. I think the fabric comes into play here, that I can try to dress this up a little bit, not that much. So I'm really happy with this outfit. This top is super pretty. I love it. Then I swapped everything for other tones, clearer tones, because the shorts also have an off-white in there in the print. So I have a woven top with white stripes, really bra friendly. And I've got sandals that are matching my skin tone really well. This top is a little shorter, so I don't feel the need to tuck that in or do anything different. I just wear it like it is. And this linen top goes perfect. The off-white is just perfection here, matching with the print. I really love it.
This is my top for my second set, and as you can see, there is a button placket. This is not part of the pattern, it's a hack. It doesn't change the fit at all. It's exactly the same fit. I do have a recent episode where I showed you how to add on a button placket to a skirt, but the same concept applies to anything that's on the fold. So I said you can do this for tops as well. So I've filmed this small hack and I've put it on my Patreon page, and I've got buttons there. It's so nice. I had to change a little bit the way I finished the facing here on the inside, but I still use the facing. So it's a very nice finish on the inside. It was super fun. And the reason I wanted to do it like that was because I wanted to wear this closed and also open like a little topper. I love little toppers. It gets hot here, but I always think with styling, it's always nice to have something on top, even if it's really light. I made my own binding with the same fabric and all the rest is the same. This time the dart I think fits me better, 5/8 of an inch lower. So enjoyable to sew. These are my shorts, the same fabric, beautiful. You can see the casing here really well. And because these are solid and there's no patch pockets on the pattern, what I did was use the back patch pocket from the Dune pants, also from Sinclair Patterns I've made recently. If you go and see that video, you'll see the back patch pocket. I thought it was really nice with the curved shape. So I just took that pattern piece, I had enough fabric. And to determine where they were gonna go, I just got my first pair of shorts that I'd already made and played around in the mirror, figuring out where they were gonna go. And now I know exactly where they're going to go because I marked it on the pattern. So next time it's going to be easier. This one also has a little slit over here. I think it's beautiful. It's such a nice technique, so much fun. And this time I also just serged the edge and folded it up. I don't have that extra fold here on the hem allowance, just because I thought the linen was too heavy to have a fold there. I do have the fold in the casing though. As you know, I never sew inseam pockets, but there were inseam pockets as an option that you could add in this area. No, thank you very much. So I'm glad all these things are optional, you know, make your own choices. I'm the happiest without the pockets. I love them on the back though. That's why I added them. I'm going to show you the set styled together in separates and also mixed and matched like this because they go perfectly. So many ways I can wear these pieces together and separately.
This is my second Byron set from Sinclair Patterns. Both of my sets are size 14 with a toe file. This time I have a linen rayon blend in a beautiful burgundy color. I absolutely love it and love having a set in a solid. I think it can go a long way. And from far away you can already see I have a hack. The fit is the same on the top, it's just that I've added a center front placket. Very easy hack to do. Otherwise the fit is the same. At the back I added some patch pockets on the shorts Just because it's a solid, I felt they were missing, so I borrowed the back patch pockets from the Dune pants, also from Sinclair Patterns. There is my button placket, my bust start for my CD cup size option. I love the fit. This V is nice, it's not too deep. You know, it's got a really nice shape and I'm not showing anything. I've chosen the rounded back again just because I felt like the V neckline didn't make sense in this case because I want to use this open like a little topper. There you can see my facing is top stitched down. It's all very neat. The armholes are finished with binding. I made it from the same linen fabric and my bust start fits perfectly there. I really love that bust start, it's everything. And this is great. Here I've just got it closed or normal. In the next few images you'll see that I'm wearing it open with a little cami underneath, same little set. Small change, buttons are open, that was my intention. I have a white cami tucked into the shorts, some lovely sneakers and a beautiful bag. And this is another way I can wear this exact same set. And that's why I wanted it more versatile with the button placket, because I can wear it closed or I can wear it open. It gives you so many more possibilities for styling. Up closer you can see the waistband, it's just elasticized, goes right over my hips. This is a type of casing that's integrated into the front and the back legs, so it's just folded under, super nice. And I'm happy I added the buttons. What can I say? I love that little hack. It's really cool. Now I'm starting to mix up both of my sets. I have my top from the previous printed set and the shorts from the solid. Because the top is black and white, goes perfectly over the burgundy shorts. Love my little burgundy sandals. I really love those. And there you can see my top tucked in. In this one, in this image, you can see more of the waist detail. It's super nice, very comfortable, feels amazing on. And the back patch pockets that are an addition. They're not part of the pattern, but you can always put pockets wherever you want. I really love this one. It's really fresh, comfortable to wear. Now I've brought back the burgundy shorts but put on another top that has a lot of burgundy in there, and I really like this. Also another casual look with sneakers. Very nice for a day that I need to be comfortable and walking around a lot. These sets are going to be so versatile. They're going to work so well in my wardrobe. I have a little front tuck there for this top because this top is a swing style. It's quite voluminous. So I didn't really want to wear it out loose. I didn't want to tuck it in either. So a front tuck is perfect. Here is my burgundy top from the set, but with the printed shorts. Beautiful. I love that these can be mixed and matched between them. It's so good. I've got the top closed, nothing really special there. A little tiny burgundy bag and my white sneakers, and I have another casual outfit that I'm really happy with. So comfortable. Love this so much. That little slit on the shorts is everything. I showed the Dune pants also from Sinclair Patterns a few days ago, and this is actually the same burgundy fabric. I bought a lot of yardage thinking of making sets like this. So I've just got the white cami underneath, the beautiful sandals, a nice little bag, and I have another little set. Goes together perfectly. I can button up one if I want to, or just leave it completely open. Of course, I could have worn this on its own without the cami, and then I would have had a full monochromatic look there. So if you like a fabric and it's a color that you love, just get a lot of it and then you'll be really happy. I'm so glad I have the same matching fabric. Here I have a simple knit dress that's got houndstooth print in black and white. It will be perfect underneath my burgundy top right there. This time I can wear it as a little topper, just wear it open. And it's awesome for hot weather like here where I want little toppers just because I like styling them. And it's fresh, it's perfect, and I can throw it on over this dress that's black and white. I'm excited to build up on the burgundy knowing I already have all these burgundy pieces. I think they're so beautiful. I can say 1,000 times that I'm super happy I added the button placket.
Love these. I love how they mix and match together. I love creating two sets, one in print, one in woven. I really wanted them to go together. That's why I chose a black and white here with the burgundy. So nice. The burgundy fabric. How much do I love this fabric? I've made the Dune pants also from Sinclair patterns also with the fabric. I've made a shirt that you'll see soon, and I still have some left for a skirt. So when I find a fabric that I love in the color that's really hard to find, I think this time I got like 6 meters or something, so I can make a lot of things. Love it. I'm so happy. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget that the Byron set is on sale through Saturday the 3rd of August. That's all from me. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.